Mantriji, senior officers from the Ministry of Defense, colleagues from the defense industry, and wondering about and thinking, and has been asking me for the past few days, past few weeks, past few months. When we look at the spectrum of products, they start from complete hardware like nuts and bolts to the other end being software. When you look at nuts and bolts worth 10,000 rupees, we know the bill of material in that is about 9,800. But we go to the other end and look at software. What is the bill of material there? The bill of material there is almost zero. It used to be actually a shrink wrap package with a DVD or a CD, which used to cost 100 rupees. Now just download it. So where is the bill of material? It's almost zero, but why are we still paying 10,000 rupees? The 10,000 rupees is being paid for the IP in it. But when we look at even high technology products, we see that the bill of material comes to about 30 or 40%, and 60% of the product that is there is the IP cost that we are paying. When bill of material doesn't add only 30-40%. And for the past 2.5 decades, India has been aspiring to say that we are saying that we are importing 30%, importing 70% and procuring 30% locally. We want to flip that ratio. And what have we been doing? We have been doing the same thing again and doing manufacturing more and more, getting contracts for manufacturing, getting orders to manufacture fins and aero structures, etc. This could, if we keep doing the same thing again and again, would we ever reach 70%? There is no possibility of reaching if you are just manufacturing. And we have been promoted, the DIIA has the viewpoint that the only way we can really reach that 70% is by doing the design and development here and developing the IP and keeping it resident in India. So that is the viewpoint that none of the other associations were really focusing on. So we have changed the focus, and again, it is very, very heavily biased towards SMEs, small and medium enterprises. So these two characters, that is the focus on design and development, and the SMEs are the essential characters of DIIA. So, what is our goal? Our goal is not very ambitious. We think by 2020, we should achieve 80% self-sufficiency in our requirements. 80% should be procured from India. And while we are doing the process of design and development here, we want to ensure that the quality, again, once the 80% of the requirement is fulfilled here, we can ensure that these products are really global, world class. Can we then go, while we are developing for Indian Army, go and create multiple customers, go overseas and sell? I think we can do. A lot of Indian companies are capable of doing. I again and again say that in 2012, when I applied for an export license, it took me 6 months. And 6 months later, when I went there, the file had disappeared. The file was not there. I could not find it. And I had to refund the money to African country from which I had taken the money. Today, the situation is, in March, last year March, it took us 1 month to get an export permission. Today, it is taking 3 days to get export permission. So we are being enabled by the current setup to really go push forward. So our ambition is 80% Indian and at least 70% we should export. So defense industry should be a net earner by 2020, otherwise DIIA has failed. So what DIIA's job is to talk about the design and development, attract lot of companies, inform the armed forces and MOD, and connect, be a bridge between them and try to create really cutting edge technologies and products, and then not only fulfill India's needs, but again exports also. So with this, I would, we had a wish list, we had a wish list, we had a dream list, we had a fantasy list, which we wanted from the government. And government has preempted us by not granting something beyond our fantasy list. We were never thinking that a category called Buy Indian IDDM would be introduced. So we are so glad that this would require a lot of thinking and a lot of courage on the part of the government to really introduce that. I really want to applaud the RMG for that. extraordinary step that we have taken. Single vendor situation. We had this thing, and Buy Indian, if you wanted to develop some product, they would ask, under Buy Indian there should have to be 2 Indian players. Worldwide, for any product there are 3 or 4 vendors, but in India we had a rule, but under Buy Indian category if I have to buy, there should be at least 2 vendors. Who would want to develop the product? Now, in the new thing, they have said single vendor is accepted. Amazing thing. Again, absolutely mind-boggling. Make programs. They have really delineated only for high complex projects. Now they have said industry funded, government funded in both the reservation for SMEs. And again, very, very progressive policy. I think this is absolutely the first in the history of defense procurement or any procurement in India. And I think we are very, very happy, sir. Thank you so much for this. And we would have failed you, sir, if we really don't not only fulfill Indian Army requirement, go beyond and become a global hub for exports in India. So thank you so much, sir.